You can't just decide I'm going to do a little bit of marketing today. You've got to live, breathe and sleep it and try and perfect it until you've got a complete story.
I think, for instance, one of the reasons that organic has been struggling at the moment is that its message is not particularly clear. Does it mean good tasting food? Does it mean well produced food? Does it mean British? Does it mean local? Does it mean pesticide free? I think people get confused by those sort of messages, whereas a clearer message such as fair trade, which is managing to navigate the recession and has a much more simplistic message, you're helping the third world farmer by paying a little bit more.
I agree with Andrew, it's about simple messages and it's about our ability to produce to the highest possible standard, because these are the demands that are fed back down the supply chain and we are part of that supply chain. So again, it needs some joined up thinking right along that supply chain to deliver these messages.
Well, the key aspect, I think it's a great opportunity to get everyone together from the supply chain in one room. And the key message that came through to me was the communication through the supply chain right down to the customer. It seems, whether that's through marketing or actual general understanding of what we do and the products we supply to them. They want to know what it is they're actually getting from us. I think that's the key thing for the industry to portray forward is communication lines.
I was pleased that we managed to get the debate to talk about the sustainable future of our industry, because that's what concerns most of us at this moment in time. We're all living day to day, but we're very worried about how we fund our businesses to build the infrastructure for the future.
I've learnt a lot this morning. I thought I was going to be bored, but I definitely wasn't. I've learnt an awful lot.
It was to see how the industry is going to have to change in the future with volatile grain prices, but also the upcoming debate of really GM feed grains and how the UK industry and the consumer tackles that in the future.
So there's something new, something different. We're all used to going to the normal poultry show and events where there's a speaker talking to us, which I've gained a lot from. But I think today it was more of a two-way process, and there was a bit more buzz about the morning session and over lunch.
I do, yeah, absolutely. I think as a producer myself, we're always shouting further down supply chain, saying, come on, support us, help us. And now getting us all together in one room allows us to network here together and hopefully break down those barriers that we have at the moment.
I think with the pressure on price, which did come out very clearly, the only way that we will all survive is with a clear, transparent supply chain working in harmony together.
We're shoppers, we know nothing about the farming industry, the supply chain, but we've learnt a lot today. But we are the ones that actually go out and buy the products.
Absolutely critical, because everybody within the supply chain has risk, and I think everyone in the supply chain needs to identify that they have their own individual risk and they need to manage that individually, whether it's the consumer is managing the risk of a household budget, the processor is managing the risk of what they're selling and what they're buying and trying to make a margin, and of course the producer has the risk of volatile raw material prices, increasing environmental legislation, also trying to make a profit margin and return on their investment.
Well, I think it can only be advantageous to bring everybody together, because what do you lose by doing it? I mean, what comes out of it? I mean, that's up to the individuals, isn't it? I mean, they can chat, but it can only be beneficial.
Because it was interesting some of the different answers between the consumer, well, I talk for myself as a producer, and we should have been saying the same, but we weren't. There was a lot of food for thought there.
I think that there are like-minded people out there that could bring it together. I think we are actually moving in that direction already, and I'm confident it will happen. It's just we've got to try to, all of us are involved in it, make it happen more quickly.
Certainly, absolutely. Throughout all of the sectors within agriculture, there is a sort of a distinct lack of cooperation within the supply chain. So the more dialogue that there can be between farmers, processors, consumers and retailers, certainly it is all good, really.